Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is day 20. I want to break it up and do a little bit something different today and introduce you to maybe something you've never seen before. This thing right here is called a bandola. So a bandola is a Colombian instrument. It is technically like, kind of like a, what do you call it, like a mandolin in a way. But this one right here, what's really cool about it, it's all wood construction. So I've got a nice pine top on here, like a spruce top, I think it is, and rosewood sides and back. Beautiful, beautiful little instrument on here and stuff. You get the reflection of me recording right there. And so everything is all solid wood, which is pretty cool. There's like, as far as I know, there's no laminate about it, which is kind of interesting. And so it's kind of like a little mandolin. You hear the sound for all the strings on there. And traditionally, they're tuned way different than a guitar is. And so, me learning guitar, as y'all know, I was just like, let me go ahead and figure out how to tune this thing sort of like a guitar. So, there you go. Because usually it'd be different. And I don't know anything about the bandola other than I saw this in a music store. It's actually around, to be honest, the same time my wife got me the Epiphone Starling guitar. I bought this for myself because I was just like, well, hey, that looks pretty cool. And I was like, I like the smell of the cedar on there too, because like it reminds me of home where I grew up. But anyways, I just thought it looked pretty cool. So anyways, like this little thing, I'm gonna go ahead and play you some sounds today, and you tell me if you like it or not. Simple as that. I'm not going to really teach anything on the bandola because, quite frankly, all disclosure, I know nothing about bandolas other than it's like a mini guitar. This thing is like about the size of my forearm, so like right there, and has a different sound to it. So here goes nothing. Ranger says hello back there, by the way. So. Ranger, por favor, silencio. Gotta talk to my dog in Spanish because he grew up Colombian, so yeah, he's gotta learn how to be quiet. So let's try something a little bit different on here and see how this goes. Yeah, that's the general sound of a bandola. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and all that stuff, like what you think about the sound of a bandola. I think it's pretty cool. It sounds like a mandolin to me. I never really cared to learn mandolin or anything like that back in the day because, like, my guitar teacher, as I tell you guys about, he was about my age now when he was teaching me. And so what that means is he was getting into the mandolin and things like that because he's already mastered the guitar at that point on there, I believe. And he was teaching me like how you could get into all these different instruments, and I was just like, no man, I just want to play rock and metal. It is what it is back in the day. But let's see, like I'm gonna play some basic things because I really don't know too much about this, to be honest. Let's see. So that's like one of my little favorite like Christian songs and stuff like that because my grandmother's favorite hymn was Amazing Grace back in the day, so that's always stuck with me. And it sounds pretty sweet on this little thing on this bandola on here as well. You have to forgive the reflections coming through my window. I have some very, very pressing sun coming through the background. see if we can shut that just a little bit and cut down on the reflections on there. There you go. Better video, less reflections. Still got a little bit on there. But you can play regular chords on this thing. Like here's your D shape. If you're a dude like me and you got big hands and big fingers and stuff like that, it's a little challenge getting in on one of these things to play the bandola. But I mean, you figure out how to press your fingers together for chords anyways, so it's like, why not? Let's try this and see how it goes. Here's like a C shape. You'll notice too, the bandola, if we look up here, you count them, you got 12 strings in this thing, so all the strings are technically doubled up. And you could get into some interesting tunings technically on this, which we'll talk about tunings in a while on regular guitar stuff too, because like you get into different tunings, you could tune one high, or excuse me, one low and one high, so that you had like an octave right there. You could tune each string that way is one way to do it. Or you could get into different alternate tunings and stuff like that, and this thing would sound pretty cool being it's a 12 string. Just to educate y'all on the bandola, like a true Colombian bandola has 16 strings. And so I'm like, how do you play a 16 string thing that looks like a mandolin and sounds like a mandolin, but it's a bandola? How do you play that stuff, you know? So anyways, like I got this 12 string, so I always wanted a 12 string acoustic guitar. And I've never had a 12 string acoustic guitar, so I don't even know where to begin with all that on there too. Like one day, when my wife and I get everything settled and we get our family all moved to where we want to be and stuff like that, then I'll add a 12 string guitar. But until then, it is what it is. We'll stick with the regular acoustic guitar and a bandola. So let's just mess around on this a little bit and I'll give you a sample of what the sound sounds like. Oop. Another thing this reminds me of too, by the way, is it reminds me of a dulcimer sound. So if anybody ever has out there seen a dulcimer before, you have regular dulcimers, which are like 4 strings, and they're acoustic instruments as well. Or you have a hammer dulcimer, which is a larger triangular kind of instrument. It's an acoustic instrument as well. I've always had interest in those because my grandmother back in the day, we were in a place called Shipshewana, which is technically in Indiana. And so when we went to Shipshewana, we saw all these dulcimers and people that handmade, and they looked beautiful. But again, I was into rock and metal and stuff back in the day, and I was just like, nah, the dulcimer is not for me. But you get older, you mellow out, you learn new things. Simple as that. So one of these days, I'd love to get a regular dulcimer and also a hammer dulcimer. I've found plans online where you can go ahead and actually build your own dulcimer. And so if anybody knows anything about those out there, like what woods to select and stuff like that. Maybe I'll take it into my old wood shop when we get settled again and stuff, and go from there, because that'd be really cool to go ahead and learn how to build a guitar too, and learn how to build like a dulcimer, like a bandola. This would probably be different because you'd have to make a mold for it, and then you'd have to go ahead and steam your wood or something like that to go ahead and put it together and get this shape. It's like a little kind of pear shape or something is the way I described this. And it's got this little thing down here. This one's called a Classica. And so this thing, if you look in the inside on here, and this reflection doesn't get me in the eyes, Classica, it's constructed here in Colombia in Bucaramanga. And so, yeah, it's 100% wood. And yeah, this one was made in the early 2000s. Yeah. So it was sitting in that guitar shop. Just looks beautiful inside, so it's a really cool little thing. So anyways, that's bandola. If you guys are hearing that sound, that's a little gallop from Ghost Riders in the Sky from the other day. So, short and sweet, I just wanted to introduce the instrument as something fun to break it up today, because I will do regular guitar also and practice my guitar for my guitar challenge, but this can technically I could learn different things about the guitar with as well. So I'm going to say this is practice as much as a regular guitar. So if y'all dig the bandola, don't forget to go ahead and like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because maybe I'll play it again one day on the channel on here, because I noodle around on this thing in between my hours throughout the day and stuff, sitting here in my little office / studio, whatever you want to call this room, because this is where I work also. But yeah, let me know what you think of the bandola. Does it have a sweet sound to it? Is it like a mandolin? Is it similar to a mandolin? Something like that. I've never played a mandolin either, so that's another thing for another day. I've seen plenty of like F-shaped mandolins out there and stuff. I was looking around online, like over on reverb.com, stuff like that. And maybe one of these days I get one of those as well. And I have a whole slew of different acoustic instruments, something like that. But yeah, thanks as always for watching. This one's going to be short and sweet today. And we'll get back to guitar going in tomorrow. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps me keep this channel going on here. And maybe one day we'll put up an incentive or something to go ahead and buy a new guitar. I don't know how that would work, but for the meantime, I'm having fun learning all this stuff, especially new instruments like this with the bandola. So thanks so much for being here. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.